first carry now. This is Johnson. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. The numbers for Johnson in last week's game, very productive. 3 touchdowns, 2 of them on the ground, 1 through the air.
And it will always be a compliment to say that a guy's got a nose for the end zone, and he sure had it last week.
From the 45 on second down, Watson. And his throw is incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what did you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
It's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Took him 5 tries, but he is able to complete that first pass of the game.
And could you hear the exhale all the way up here? Not just from him, coaching staff, offensive line, receivers. Now he's off the schneid. Can they get him going in a nice groove where he becomes a little more consistent throwing the football?
Because you miss those first 2, but you get up the 0 for 4 range. That can be a little tricky, but able to settle in, hopefully.
Yeah, now you won't have any confidence issues. Now you can kind of get it back even with just 1 throw.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a first and goal. Out of the gun, Watson to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
On second down, Johnson. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now. From the 3 now, here they come on 3rd and goal. From the gun, here's Watson, eluding the pressure right. And got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Kenny Stills, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. So he scrambled right, but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know, in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, because we all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble. He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes. Right, they just take over.
Instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open, you're able to get it to them.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try and play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man. The numbers for Jones last week, 5 catches, 78 yards.
When you turn in good, consistent performances each and every week, you will rank in the top 10 in the league in receiving yards, and he's number 7 currently, hoping to move up as time goes on.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
Quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
And we focus on Duke Johnson now. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started. At the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season. And, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and, boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been, oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 29. Watson hitting Fuller with a big one, 43 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pumps from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Down to about the 22 here. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. From the red zone now, Watson toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Watson, and he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good.
I think if you pulled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
A reminder about Sunday Night Football later tonight. It's a rematch from the divisional round last year. Colts and Chiefs from Arrowhead. Then tomorrow on Monday night, the Browns and 49ers from Levi's Stadium. With the Browns already playing their 3rd primetime game in the season's first 5 weeks. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 33 yards that time. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's Ryan. Connects with Sanu right side. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
Mohamed Sanu is a guy that is often overlooked because he just quietly goes about his business. But how about last season? Had a career-high 838 yards on 66 catches, and he can also play wildcat quarterback.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Zach Cunningham rolling in to get the sack.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
It's such an impressive first half to get that lead. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
We get a glance at Duke Johnson as he heads back out onto the field. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. A first down carry here for Johnson. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Going deep for Hopkins. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. A shotgun snap for Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. Kenny Stills, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. From the gun, a run for Johnson. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. No one attempted or made more field goals than Fairbairn last year. He was 37 of 42.
And they were grateful for every one of those that put 3 points on the board. But I'll guarantee you, Bill O'Brien, the head coach, is thinking to himself, we need to use them a lot less in 2019. Let's make sure we score some more touchdowns.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Julio Jones, his Pro Bowl receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again, Ryan. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the shotgun, Ryan. And it's complete. Hooper. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And Jones has it over the middle. Time a factor as Ryan will hustle him to the line. Throwing again on second down. Ryan. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And we focus on Duke Johnson now. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And the Falcons say they have it. They do.
All the practice, all the training, all the meetings. In this situation, I know exactly what quarterbacks are taught. Take care of the football. That's job one, paramount. Because you cough it up here, you might be giving up 6 points real easy.
Tip of the cap to the defense, though, forcing the fumble. And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Ryan. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Good positioning, and it's picked off.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
He's going to loft one deep left side here, and that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and construct.
And that's caught inside the 30. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. From the gun, Watson. And it's knocked away and incomplete. DeAndre Hopkins, the Pro Bowler, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. To throw is Watson. It's a first down on a gain of 10. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. The kick by Fairbairn is good. So he comes out of nowhere. He's got this handlebar mustache, greasy hair. And he says, would you rather eat a jar of mayonnaise or 3 sticks of butter? And I look, well, all right, never mind. Third quarter action now. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
called that one of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Ryan going to give to Freeman on the draw. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Ryan. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Here's Matt Bosher now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. That's taken on the 25. 47-yard punt, a return of 4. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this 3rd quarter. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Yeah, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring.
That's caught inside the 20. The Clemson connection. Watson to Hopkins for a big one. 52 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Running from the gun, Johnson. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now Watson. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Texans push further out in front. And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the lead is now 24. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it results in the Texans finding the end zone. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. That catch for his career is number 731, and that's the number that Calvin Johnson ended with when he stopped his career in 2016.
Yeah, what could have been for him. So maybe now what we'll see is someone else continue to elevate their game and put this number well in his rearview mirror. I think 800, not out of line here.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Ryan, man open, that's Calvin Ridley. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Ryan will throw again. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
4th down. Here's Ryan. And that is going to be incomplete. Dan Quinn's guys unable to come through there on 4th down. And this Texans defense stands tall. That's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win. All game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't. Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Now the pass, and it's into the arms of Hopkins. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
On 2nd and 9, Watson caught left side, Hopkins. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 23. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Watson, that is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game as his guys continue to pour it on. In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one. And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Here's Ryan. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. The lightning rod, J.J. Watt with a sack. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And the pressure gets to him again. J.J. Watt able to record his 5th sack of the season.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Watson operating from the gun. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 22 yards there, a first down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
From the 31, Watson. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 20-yard line.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Here's Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
From the gun, Watson. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. It's another touchdown pass for Deshaun Watson, his 5th of the afternoon, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. Watson now operating from the gun. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us, and they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, it could also result in a melee later, though. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Ryan, the left side completion to Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10. On first down, Ryan. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. To throw again. Ryan. They'll set up the screen to Smith. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Johnson, it's poked free. Football's out. And the Falcons grab it. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now Ryan. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Now Ryan on 1st down. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Now it's Ryan. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. Well, I do have one word for that touchdown for you, partner. You ready?
Yeah.
Cosmetics.
Just makes things look a little better. I don't know. It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, and it's hard to do, too. And the pig doesn't like the lipstick a heck of a lot, but you do like the fact that they're battling down the stretch, still trying to put something on the board, even though this game is over.
By the way, how rude is that to the pig? Look at all the things they give us. Pulled pork, bacon. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty...
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On the ground, this is Johnson. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and a mile. Watson now to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. That one good for 21 yards. And it'll be 4th down.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
Now, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. Here we go on fourth. Watson, and it is incomplete. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on fourth. And the Falcons defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that, saying, oh, wow. Talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you don't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
Now they go screen. It's complete. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. The Falcons on third down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. Here it's 3rd and 3. Ryan. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Here's Matt Bosher now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away.
Come on now, let's go.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Going deep for Hopkins. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
As an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Texans, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.